What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm here to bring you a brand new series starting on my channel called Upgrades Band, and just now you see we're choosing our settings. So basically what Upgrades Band is, we are driving in the Mercedes, which is of course the best car, and you can see we're just choosing our helmet and everything. But what that basically is where we drive in the Mercedes, we're going to be driving alongside Lewis Hamilton, and basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to win both championships in the same season. If we win one championship, then we haven't seen it, and exactly the same as that. And the settings that you just saw there have actually changed just slightly, just the helmet and the car number. But now we're selecting the team, we are going to obviously choose Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is our teammate, and now you're going to see that it is going to be 25% races with full qualifying. And just going to look at the race settings and the assists. Race settings, Legend AI, flashbacks we do actually turn on later, but now you can just read all the settings there. And for some reason we go back onto race settings, then we go onto assists, but now you're going to see the assists. We're using all the same assists that I usually use, so nothing there has changed. And now let's get straight into qualifying. So jumping straight into Q3, there was no Q1 and Q2 formality we got through, and no big name knockouts in Q1 or Q2 either. So going straight into Q3, you can see we're ending our first lap here. We had a little slam for oversteer, but come around the final corner. But we open the DRS and come up to the line, and at the moment that puts us in P2 to knock out the front row alongside our teammate Lewis Hamilton. And then later on we drop down to P3 and we actually come around the penultimate corner. We live quite late, you can see we're 8 seconds left in the session, and coming around the final corner we open up the DRS, and I think we are not going to make it, and we don't make it. So we come across the line and we actually get pipped to P3 as well, so we actually qualified in 4th place, unfortunately. Just left it a bit too late, so but we'll have to do the best we can in the race tomorrow, and of course do what we can in the next race. First of all, Lewis Hamilton is on pole ahead of the 2 Red Bulls. I'm in 4th with the 2 Ferraris behind, then Massa, Hulkenberg, Bottas, and then Kvyat rounding out the top 10. Now let's go on to the race.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, but I just want it. Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? See myself? Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? See myself? Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? See myself? Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? Can't you see myself? Oh baby.
Now looking at the race strategy, you can see that we are starting on the super softs today, and then going on to the softs for the back end race. Just putting the fuel down a bit. That's the strategy we're going with now. It's got to start the race. So we are now revving up to 5 red lights for the start of the 2016 season, and it's underway here down under in Australia. We get a decent start ahead of getting alongside not Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo straight away. Kind of the first corner we break easily, and Ricciardo and Verstappen are fighting each other. So now we are just trying to we're just going to go up alongside Daniel Ricciardo and actually Max Verstappen as we go up the inside. Max Verstappen is still trying to hold it. We go up the inside, and that is us up into 2nd place. And next up is our teammate Lewis Hamilton in the other Mercedes. So where we are right now, we just need to try and finish here to use the advantage at the beginning of the season. And you can see that now we're close to Lewis Hamilton because we haven't actually been catching him all the way through, and we actually got the DRS. I can tell you that now. So we were actually faster than Lewis Hamilton in the first stint. As now, but we've said enough is enough of these tyres, and we come into our pit box, and we are going to put on the soft tyres, and I believe that is a 3-second pit stop. I'm not entirely sure, can't really read it on my small screen, but I think that says 3 seconds. I could be wrong. But now coming down the pit lane, and we're dropping down places, and I believe we're going to rejoin down in 13th, behind Ria Haryanto, I think it is, and ahead of Daniel Jody and Palmer. There you go. So we do rejoin 13th, and We actually get DRS now coming around the second corner. As you see, the DRS because we were within second of Lewis Hamilton as we crossed the detection zone. So that's helped us a bit on this lap on these fresh tyres. And now cutting later onto this lap. Lap 6, you see we are very, very fast. We're in the Mercedes, obviously, and we have Harrington in the manner. As we come through turns, I believe it's 11, 12 the fast left right chicane, and we go to the left-hand side to pass rear Harrington. Then we sort of do the switch back and go up the inside rear Harrington and move up into 12th place. Next up in 11th is Jenson Button, but we're going to ride on board now and see how many places we make up as we are going to pass the pits. And some drivers are in the pits. I'm not sure if you saw, but like I said, Lewis Hamilton is in the pits, so we'll need to see where he feeds out as well. We're coming down the straight and we are moving up places, and now you can see Lewis Hamilton on the screen, and he rejoins in 5th place just behind Jenson Button. So now he is actually getting held up by Jenson Button as we cut later onto lap 7. Coming through turns 11 and 12, Hamilton makes a move on Jenson Button, and he's actually got the move done, and we get a brilliant exit, and that means we can go up the inside Jenson Button, and then we go to the left hand side of our teammate Lewis Hamilton, keep it nice and clean. But coming through this turn, there is contact, and Hamilton spins around, and unfortunately he has lost time there. And but hopefully that hasn't hindered him too much. We know he can carry on because he just spun, but hopefully he hasn't conceded any damage, and then we should hopefully be able to get 1-2. As we're coming down the line, we actually end up in 2nd place at the moment as we come to lap 8. As Felipe Massa has not made his pit stop, and so Esteban Gutierrez hasn't made his pit stop either. But now coming on to lap 13, we're in the lead. Hamilton's in 2nd, and he's actually caught up to us, and you can see that he's very, very close coming through here up to turns 11 and 12, and he goes up our inside and just breezes past us. I really did just yield, yeah, because there's nothing because I didn't want to cause a crash or anything, and there's a chance we can get past him. So I was just trying to stay close, and we got such a good exit, or wasn't able to get close enough to make a pass. So my tactic here was just sit behind, get the DRS. Now that we're in the DRS, we can go for a pass when we're close enough. Not close enough into the penultimate corner, but coming around that very nicely. And it seems like Hamilton gets a much better exit onto the straight as we open the DRS onto the straight and just powering towards the line. Trying to stay in the situation with Lewis Hamilton, and now we're gaining all the time, but we're still not close enough into the 1st and 2nd corner. So we decide to use the DRS in the 2nd detection zone as well, open it up, and now we are catching Lewis Hamilton again, and we actually make a pretty audacious move up the inside, but we've got the pass done and back up into the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. And now onto lap 15, I believe it is. No, 14, later on to lap 14 actually. Coming through exactly where we were on lap 13 actually. Hamilton's much closer this time, and he doesn't actually go up our inside as much as he did last time, so he doesn't breeze past this time, and we're actually going to try and fight him here, and there's contact again, and Lewis Hamilton has once again spun, unfortunately. And I believe now that Daniel Ricciardo gets up in 2nd place, which won't help us, because we need to get as many 1-2s at the beginning of the season as we can to use the car's advantage that we have at the beginning of the season. I'm waiting for it to refresh, and it has. So yes, Daniel Ricciardo is 2nd, but I believe Lewis Hamilton does in fact get ahead. Hopefully he can, because that way we can do this. I actually recorded this a while ago, so I can't actually remember what happened. But now coming through the penultimate corner, you see Lewis Hamilton did get back into 2nd, and we come around the final corner of the Australian Grand Prix, and now we're coming up to the line as we win the Australian Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton luckily finishes in 2nd to get a 1-2 for the team. So that really did help us getting Hamilton in 2nd place. And now looking at the race results, you can see that I won the race with Lewis Hamilton in 2nd, getting Mercedes 1-2 to use our advantage at the beginning of the season. Daniel Ricciardo finished in 3rd, and the 2 Ferraris of Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. Valtteri Bottas finished ahead of his teammate Felipe Massa in 6th and 7th. Carlos Sainz is in 8th with Nick Hulkenberg in 9th, and Esteban Gutierrez rounds out the top 10 scoring points pass. Now looking at the back end of the grid, you can see that every driver in fact did finish the race, and driver standings are obviously exactly the same as race results. The constructor standings, Mercedes really lead the way ahead of Ferrari with 21 points with Red Bull in 3rd, Williams in 4th, George in 5th. And forcing the last point scoring team. And now just looking at upgrades, you can see no upgrades being applied to the car, But that is basically it for this video, guys. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big like, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you are new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter at shadow_82. As always, there is a link to that down in the description, and all the music used in this video is also down in the description. That's from me, and I will see you next time.